Can you not be so jealous? She asked after sitting on another guy's lap for a game. I said, I can. Watch, and left the party. She came home the next day to find me gone and a note. Not jealous anymore. Not your boyfriend either. Enjoy your games. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. My name's Alex, and I met Sarah back in our senior year of college. She was this vibrant, outgoing type, always the life of the party, with a laugh that could light up a room. I was more the steady, reliable one, studying engineering while working part-time to pay my way. We clicked right away. She said I grounded her, made her feel safe in a world that felt chaotic. I fell hard, and for the first few years, it was good. Really good. After graduation, things got real. Sarah struggled to land a steady job in marketing. She'd get these short gigs, but nothing stuck. I was the one holding it down, got an entry-level position at a tech firm, paying most of the rent on our tiny apartment while she job hunted. I didn't mind. That's what you do for someone you love, right? There were nights she'd come home frustrated, crying about another rejection, and I'd hold her, tell her she was talented, and it'd turn around. I even turned down a promotion that would have meant relocating because she finally got an interview in our city. You're so sweet for staying, she'd say, kissing me like I was her hero. But looking back, maybe that was the first crack. I was always the one sacrificing, bending my life around hers. As time went on, Sarah did land a job at a creative agency. It was entry-level, but she thrived there, networking like crazy. That's when the red flags started popping up, subtle at first. She'd go out for work drinks that turned into late nights, coming home buzzed and giggling about some funny story from a coworker. I'd ask casually who was there, and she'd roll her eyes. God, Alex, not this again. It's just networking. You need to trust me more. I'd back off, telling myself I was being paranoid. After all, my last relationship ended because of my ex's actual cheating, so maybe I had trust issues. But then there were the social media posts. Pictures from these outings, her arm around some guy's shoulder, captioned with inside jokes. Harmless fun, she'd say when I brought it up. You're reading too much into it. Lighten up, babe. One guy kept showing up in those stories, Mike. He was a senior at her agency, the kind of dude who oozed charisma, flashy clothes, always telling wild tales about his weekends. Sarah swore he was just a friend, someone who got the creative side of things. He's like a big brother, she'd insist. But I'd catch her texting him late at night, laughing at his memes while we watched TV. When I'd mention it fell off, she'd flip it back on me. Why are you so insecure? It's not like I'm hiding anything. If you can't handle me having guy friends, that's on you. I'd swallow it, not wanting to be that guy. Deep down, though, it gnawed at me. I was pouring everything into us, cooking dinners after long days, planning weekend getaways to keep the spark alive. And she was treating my concerns like they were annoying speed bumps. Things escalated slowly, like a pot simmering. Sarah started prioritizing these networking events over our plans. One time, we had tickets to a concert I'd saved up for, but she bailed last minute for a team-building happy hour. Came home at 2 a.m., reeking of beer, and brushed off my frustration. It was important for my career, Alex. You want me to succeed, don't you? Yeah, I did. But I also wanted to feel like I mattered. I'd lie awake those nights, staring at the ceiling, wondering if I was overreacting or if something was truly off. Friends would say, she's just extroverted, man. Don't sweat it. So I try not to, pushing down the doubt. But the disrespect built up, little comments about how I was too serious or not adventurous enough. It made me question myself. Was I boring? Was I holding her back? Cut to the night, everything blew up. A mutual friend's house party. It was one of those casual gatherings, maybe 20 people, music blasting, drinks flowing. Sarah was excited. Mike was going to be there, along with some other work folks. I wasn't thrilled, but I went along to support her. We arrived together, and at first, it was fine. We mingled, laughed with old friends. But as the night wore on and the alcohol kicked in, Sarah gravitated toward Mike's group. They were playing these dumb party games, truth or dare, never have I ever, that kind of thing. I hung back, nursing a beer, chatting with a buddy about work. Then it happened. They started this lap-sitting challenge, or whatever, some silly rule where if you lost a round, You had to sit on someone's lap for the next one. Sarah lost on purpose, it seemed, and plopped right down on Mike's lap, wrapping her arms around his neck while everyone cheered. She was laughing hysterically, her head thrown back, and Mike's hands were on her waist, pulling her closer. The room went fuzzy for me. It wasn't just jealousy. It was the public humiliation, the way she didn't even glance my way to see if I was okay. Friends shot me awkward looks, like they knew it was crossing a line. I stood there, heart pounding, feeling like an idiot for ever thinking this was normal. That's when she noticed me staring and pulled me aside into the kitchen, still giggling a bit. "Can you not be so jealous?" she asked, her voice laced with annoyance, like I was the one ruining the vibe. She crossed her arms, tilting her head as if she was explaining something obvious to a child. "It's just a game, Alex. Mike's like a brother to me. Everyone's laughing. Why do you have to make it weird? You're embarrassing us both with that look on your face." I stood there, the hum of the party muffled through the door, feeling the weight of her words sink in. Us. Like she was more concerned about how it looked to Mike and her work friends than how it felt to me. I kept my voice steady, even though my chest tightened. "I'm not making it weird, Sarah. But if sitting on another guy's lap is your idea of a game, then yeah, it feels off. We've talked about this stuff before." She rolled her eyes, letting out an exaggerated sigh. "Oh my God, here we go again with the boundaries talk. It's harmless fun. Mike and I are just goofing around. You're always so uptight about everything. If you can't handle a little playfulness at a party, maybe that's your problem. Remember last month at the bar? You got all quiet when I danced with that group. Same vibe. It's like you don't trust me at all." "Trust isn't the issue," I said calmly, though inside I was replaying every time she'd dismissed me like this. "It's respect. You know that bothers me, and you did it anyway, right in front of everyone. How would you feel if I did the same with one of your friends?" She laughed, a sharp, dismissive sound that cut deeper than I expected. "Please, Alex. If you sat on some girl's lap, I'd probably cheer you on. Lighten up. Life's too short to be so possessive. Mike gets it. He's adventurous, spontaneous. That's why these games are fun. You're reading way too much into it because of your trust issues from your ex. I mean, come on. It's not like I kissed him or anything. You're overreacting as usual." Her words twisted like a knife, turning my valid concern into some flaw in me, while painting Mike as this exciting alternative. I could see the smugness in her eyes, like she knew she had the upper hand because I wasn't the type to cause a scene. The party noise swelled as someone opened the door briefly, and I caught a glimpse of Mike out there, grinning with the group, probably waiting for her to come back. I took a breath, keeping my tone even. "Okay, Sarah. If that's how you see it, fine. I cannot be jealous. Watch." She furrowed her brow, like she wasn't sure if I was joking. "What does that even mean? Are you seriously mad over this? Fine, I'll stop the game if it's such a big deal. But you're killing the mood for everyone." "No need," I replied, already turning toward the door. "Enjoy the party. I'll head out." "Wait, Alex, don't be dramatic," she called after me, but I didn't stop. I wove through the crowd, ignoring the curious glances from friends, and stepped out into the cool night air. My heart was racing, but I didn't yell or beg or confront Mike. I just left. No outburst, no pleading for her to choose me. It was like a switch flipped. I was done being the backup plan in my own relationship. The drive home was a blur. I kept replaying the scene. Her on his lap, his hands on her, her laughing it off like I was the unreasonable one. By the time I got back to our apartment, the confusion had hardened into resolve. She didn't come home that night. Sent a quick text around 1 a.m. "Staying at the party a bit longer. Don't wait up. We'll talk tomorrow." XO. No apology, no concern. Just more dismissal. I didn't sleep much. Instead, I started packing. Not everything, just my essentials. Clothes, laptop, a few books. The rest could wait. I wasn't going to drag this out into some messy fight. By morning, I'd loaded my car and sat down to write the note. Kept it simple, on a sticky note stuck to the fridge. "Not jealous anymore. Not your boyfriend either. Enjoy your games." I left my key on the counter and drove to a buddy's place across town. Blocked her number temporarily, not out of spite, but to give myself space. The silence hit hard at first. I'd sacrificed so much, skipping that promotion, handling most of the bills while she chased her dreams, even canceling a guy's trip last year because she needed me home. And for what? To be made to feel like a nagging obstacle to her fun? Friends texted me the next day, piecing together what happened. Apparently, after I left, Sarah and Mike got even cozier, dancing, shots, and yeah, she crashed at his place. Just as friends, she told people, but no one bought it. The betrayal stung, but I didn't lash out. I just focused on breathing through it, one day at a time. The days after blurred into a haze of quiet routine. I crashed on my buddy's couch for a week, then found a short-term rental, a cramped studio, but it was mine. No shared space, no waiting for her to come home late. At first, the silence was deafening. I'd wake up reaching for my phone, half expecting a text from her, then remember I'd unblocked her but set notifications to mute. The confusion lingered. Had I overreacted? Was I really the insecure one she'd painted me to be? I'd scroll through old photos. Us on that weekend hike I'd planned, or the time I surprised her with tickets to her favorite band, and feel the unfairness like a weight. I'd given up pieces of myself to make us work, and she'd treated it like a game. Work became my anchor. I'd buried myself in projects at the tech firm, finally pursuing that promotion I'd passed on before. My boss noticed the extra hours, the focus. "You've got fire in you lately, Alex," he said one day. It felt good, reclaiming control. I hit the gym too, something I'd slacked on while prioritizing her schedule. Started reading books on boundaries and self-respect, journaling the mess in my head. No dramatic revenge plots, just steady steps forward. Friends checked in, some sharing updates I didn't ask for. Sarah was posting party pics online, captioning them with vague empowerment quotes like, "living my best life." It hurt, but I didn't engage. A couple weeks in, the karma started trickling. Mutual friends mentioned Mike wasn't the charmer he seemed. Rumors at her agency about him hitting on multiple co-workers, including during work events. Sarah brushed it off publicly, but privately, cracks showed. She lost a big project at work. Turns out, the affair, or whatever it was, got messy when another colleague found out, leading to office drama. Her boss pulled her aside, professionalism concerns. Friends who sided with her at first started distancing. One told me, "She's acting like nothing happened, but it's obvious she's spiraling a bit." I didn't gloat or seek details. Let it unfold. Months passed, 3, to be exact, and I settled into my new rhythm. Landed that promotion, which came with a raise and remote flexibility. Moved to a better apartment, started dating casually, but nothing serious yet. The confusion faded. In its place, clarity. I dodged a bullet. Her disrespect wasn't a one-off. It was a pattern I'd ignored too long. By then, her unraveling picked up speed. Mike dumped her after a few weeks of fun, admitting he was seeing someone else from the office. She got transferred to a different department to avoid the fallout, but it tanked her networking circle. Bills piled up without my half. She had to dip into savings. Isolation set in. Friends who'd cheered her freedom now saw the hypocrisy, especially after hearing my side quietly shared. One night, a buddy forwarded a screenshot, her venting in a group chat about being broke and alone, blaming bad luck. It was satisfying in a quiet way, but I didn't dwell. Life was moving forward without her input. That's when the desperate attempts started rolling in. It was about a month after I'd left, right as her work drama was heating up. At first, it was texts, sporadic at first, then a flood. I'd unblocked her by then, figuring I could handle it without reacting. The initial ones were casual, like she was testing the waters. "Hey Alex, hope you're doing okay." That note was harsh, but I get why you're upset. It was just a dumb game at the party. Nothing happened with Mike, I swear. "Can we talk? I miss our talks." I didn't respond. What was there to say? She'd made her choice clear. A few days later, the tone shifted to apologetic, with a hint of manipulation. "Alex, please answer. I know I messed up. Sitting on his lap was stupid, but you know how I get when I'm drinking. It's not like we hooked up or anything. You're blowing this out of proportion because of your jealousy issues. Remember how we always work through stuff. Let's grab coffee and fix this." Still nothing from me. That's when her friends and family got involved. Toxic as hell, just like the plan had warned. Her best friend, Lisa, who'd been at the party and laughed along, texted me out of nowhere. "Dude, Sarah's a wreck. You're being childish ghosting her like this. She deserves a chance to explain. Man up and talk to her." Then her mom called, left a voicemail guilting me about how I'd abandoned Sarah during her tough time at work. as if I owed them anything after the humiliation. By the 2-month mark, Sarah's messages turned more frantic. Voicemails now, her voice cracking a bit. Alex, pick up. Mike was a mistake. He's seeing someone else already, and work's falling apart because of the rumors. I got demoted, okay? Happy now? I need you. We were good together. You always knew how to calm me down. Please, just call back. I can't do this alone. I listened, but it didn't move me. Her need felt like code for wanting her safety net back. The anger crept in after another week of silence from me. A string of texts one night. How dare you ignore me like this? After everything I put up with, your boring routines, your constant nagging about trust. Fine, be petty. But you're gonna regret this when I'm back on my feet. Mike was right. You're too insecure for anyone. That one almost made me laugh. Mike, right? The guy who'd used her and bounced? It revealed her true colors, lashing out when she couldn't control the narrative. Her family doubled down. Her sister emailed me, all unpleasant and demanding. Sarah's family, and you're treating her like trash. She made one mistake. Get over yourself and take her back before she really moves on. As if threats would work. The peak came around month 3, a surprise visit to my new apartment. I'd just gotten home from the gym when there was banging on the door. Opened it to find her standing there, eyes red, makeup smudged, looking desperate. Alex, thank God. Let me in. We need to talk, she said, pushing past me before I could respond. She paced the living room, glancing around like she was assessing my new life. This place is nice, but it's not us. Look, I've changed. That night was stupid. I was drunk, feeling trapped in our routine. Mike meant nothing. He dumped me like I was yesterday's news. Work's a nightmare now. Everyone's whispering about the affair. I'm broke, isolated. Friends ditched me after hearing your side. Please, let's try again. Remember our good times? The hikes, the concerts? I need you back. I stayed calm, leaning against the counter, arms crossed. No inviting her to sit, no offering water. Sarah, there's nothing to try. You chose your games. She stepped closer, voice rising. Chose? You left over nothing. If you'd just loosened up, none of this would have happened. You're punishing me for one slip up. I deserve better than this cold shoulder. Deserve? I echoed, mirroring her old logic without heat. You said I was too uptight, too jealous. Turns out, I just had standards. And now? You're here because your choices blew up. But that's not my problem anymore. She teared up, switching to pleading. Alex, don't be like this. I love you, always have. Give us another shot. I'll cut out the parties, the flirting, whatever you want. I shook my head firm. No, I'm done. She snapped then, anger flashing. Fine. Rot here alone. You'll never find someone like me. She stormed out, slamming the door. That was her true self, entitled, volatile when cornered. The final nail came at our mutual friend Jake's wedding, 5 months post-breakup. It was a garden ceremony, elegant and low-key. I'd RSVP'd yes, knowing she might be there, but I wasn't hiding. Showed up with Emily, a woman I'd met through work, smart, respectful, no games. We were hitting it off, nothing forced. Sarah spotted me during the reception, weaving through tables to corner us. She looked rough, thinner, forced smile, dress a bit too flashy for the occasion. Guests whispered. The fallout from her office scandal had spread through our circle. Alex, she said, voice shaky but trying for composure. Can we talk? Privately. Emily glanced at me, but I stayed seated, calm. No need, Sarah. We're good. She ignored Emily, desperation cracking through. Please. I've hit rock bottom, lost the job transfer, crashing with my parents now. Mike's a jerk. He spread lies about me. Everyone sees it now. I was wrong, okay? Wrong about everything. Take me back. We can start over. I'll prove it. Her eyes darted to Emily, then back, hypocrisy bare. The power flip was obvious. Me thriving, her desperate in front of everyone. I met her gaze evenly, indifferent. You said I was holding you back, remember? Too predictable. Well, I've moved forward. This, I gestured vaguely to Emily and the life around us, is my reality now. You're not part of it. Enjoy whatever comes next. She blinked, tears welling. But I thought we had something real. Had? I corrected, turning back to Emily. Past tense. She lingered a moment, humiliated as heads turned, then fled the reception. No chase, no sympathy from me. She'd become irrelevant, a footnote in my story. The months after the wedding sealed it. I blocked her everywhere, no loose ends. Life leveled up. Promotion led to more travel. Emily and I grew serious. She's the kind of partner who builds you up, no drama. Mutual friends cut ties with Sarah after the full truth surfaced. Her reputation as the manipulator stuck. Last I heard, unasked, she'd bounced between jobs, still chasing that excitement that left her broke and alone. Karma didn't need my input. It delivered. I'm not bitter, just free. If you're reading this and it sounds familiar, trust your gut. Walk away with dignity. You'll come out stronger. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.